A group of soldiers found themselves in the midst of a fierce war. After one particularly brutal battle, they stumbled upon a ruined house. Inside, amidst the rubble, they found a dog. The poor animal was clearly hurt, limping and covered in dirt, with a look of sadness in its eyes. One of the soldiers, noticing the dog's condition, knelt down beside it and gently patted its head. "Hey, buddy, we're going to help you," he said softly, his voice filled with concern. The soldier carefully lifted the dog and carried it back to their base, cradling it as if it were a fragile object. Upon arrival, the base vet quickly examined the dog. After a few tense minutes, the vet looked up and said, "This dog is in really bad shape. There's only a slim chance he'll survive." The soldier, determined not to give up, replied firmly, "Try everything you can. Don't give up on him." Days went by, and against all odds, the dog began to recover. Its wounds started healing, and the sad look in its eyes slowly disappeared, replaced by a spark of hope. The dog had survived, and from that moment on, the soldier never left its side. He started bringing the dog along on every mission, and the dog quickly became an integral part of their team. It was as if the dog sensed the seriousness of their work and wanted to be useful. One day, during a mission, the soldiers found themselves near the enemy's base. There was a suspicious-looking box lying on the ground in front of them. The team leader, always cautious, said, "This could be a trap. We should be careful. Maybe there's something dangerous under that box." The dog stared intently at the box, its ears perked up. The soldiers, uncertain, decided to throw rocks at the box to see if anything happened. They threw several rocks, but nothing happened. "It looks like there's nothing there. Let's move on," said the team leader, starting to walk forward. But the dog suddenly started barking, a loud, insistent bark that made the soldiers freeze. "Stop!" the soldier who had rescued the dog shouted, sensing that the dog was trying to warn them. He picked up a rock and threw it into the grass beside the road, away from the box. Suddenly, a loud explosion erupted, sending dirt and debris flying. The soldier was thrown to the ground by the force of the blast. "The dog saved us," shouted the team leader, realizing the gravity of what had just happened. "Where's the dog?" the soldier called out, panicked. Before anyone could answer, another explosion went off. The soldier saw that the dog had found yet another trap and had set it off, saving the team once again. The soldier ran towards the explosion, heart pounding, and found the dog lying on the ground. "No," he cried out, fearing the worst. But to his relief, the dog stood up and trotted over to him, tail wagging. "You're alive," the soldier exclaimed, kneeling down to hug his brave friend. As weeks turned into months, the bond between the soldier and the dog grew stronger. The dog was more than just a companion, it was a friend, a protector, a member of their team. The dog was always by the soldier's side, providing comfort and companionship, especially during the darkest times. Whenever the soldier felt homesick or troubled, the dog would be there, resting its head on his lap, providing silent support. Eventually the day came when the soldiers were ordered to return home. The war had ended, and it was time to go back to their normal lives. As they packed their belongings, preparing to leave the base, the soldier looked at the dog and said, "You're coming with me. I can't leave you here. You'll live with me at my house." The dog wagged its tail, as if understanding the soldier's words. When they arrived at the soldier's home, he brought the dog inside, showing it around. Suddenly, a loud explosion was heard. The dog, startled, ran and hid behind the soldier. The soldier quickly realized that the sound had come from a movie playing on the TV. Kneeling down beside the dog, he said, "I know why you're scared, but you don't need to be. You're safe here with me." He gently petted the dog, calming it down. In the days that followed, the soldier and the dog explored the city together. They walked through the streets, visited parks, and enjoyed the fresh air. One sunny afternoon, they strolled along the shore, enjoying the sound of the waves. The dog suddenly ran towards the water, barking playfully. Without hesitation, the soldier followed, both of them splashing into the water. As they played in the waves, the soldier laughed and said, "I'm so glad I found you back there. You saved my life and you brought me so much joy." One night, as they were walking down a quiet street, they were suddenly attacked by a group of criminals. The soldier fought back bravely, but one of the attackers managed to hit him hard, knocking him to the ground. Dazed and disoriented, the soldier felt himself slipping away. When he opened his eyes, he found himself standing in front of a golden gate. A mysterious man appeared and said, "Welcome to heaven." The soldier, confused, asked, "Where am I? Where's my dog?" The man replied, "Your dog is still down there, protecting you from the criminals." The soldier, filled with determination, shouted, "I can't stay here without him. I need to go back." Suddenly, the soldier opened his eyes and found himself lying on the ground. His vision was blurry, but he could see his dog fiercely defending him from the criminals. Then he felt someone lifting him up. It was a friend from his military team. "I heard your dog barking, so I came to help," his friend said. The soldier was taken to the hospital where he was treated for his injuries. Lying in a hospital bed, he asked, "Where's my dog?" His friend replied, "He's right outside, waiting for you. He refused to leave your side." The next morning, the soldier left the hospital. As he stepped outside, he saw the dog lying by the door, just as his friend had said. The soldier knelt down, hugged the dog, and said, "I will never leave you. You're my best friend." That evening, the soldier and the dog went to sleep together. They lay in bed, the dog curled up next to the soldier. As the soldier closed his eyes, he began to dream. He was back at war, surrounded by enemies. He had been captured and was held prisoner. Looking into the distance, he saw his dog, watching him silently. He tried to shoo the dog away, fearing the enemies might harm it, but when he looked again, the dog was gone. Suddenly, he heard explosions and the sound of soldiers approaching. A team of soldiers appeared, rescuing him from the enemy camp. The dog was with them, leading the way. "You saved me again," the soldier said gratefully. The soldier woke up to find the dog lying next to him, peacefully sleeping. He gently stroked the dog's fur and whispered, "You're not just a dog to me. You're my best friend, my hero. I love you." The dog stirred, nuzzling closer to the soldier, and the two drifted back to sleep, content in each other's company, knowing that they would always have each other's backs.